What's up guys, BltzZ here today bringing you another video. In today's video, I want to talk about the comments about Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 that Nomura did during the First Soldier event stream we covered last week. Of course, as always, the translations were provided by Audrey on Twitter, so be sure to follow her there if you have not yet. Shortly after the First Soldier event, we got the final trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which focused heavily on Yuffie's story DLC and had hella spoilers. So click away right now if you don't want to see any of that and protect your cheeks. I wanted to cover this information on Saturday after our stream, but your boy was too tired to even compile his thoughts on all of that. Not to mention I was also out all weekend. But we're back to bring you my thoughts on all of it. Now with all that being said, let's get into this video. Nomura and I'm sure many others already that are working on the team, no matter what gaming event that they are at, even if it is for another gaming title or a completely irrelevant game, people will always have questions about Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 and its development. This is pretty much going to be their life over the next however many years, until Final Fantasy VII Remake's entire story and compilation is finally done being remade. So naturally, he went to check with Kitase about talking about Remake Part 2 this morning, and it turns out he needed to get all kinds of clearances before he could even speak about Remake Part 2, and was shocked about all the preparation that was required. But in the end, he was able to tell us a little bit of information, and that was that the game development is going according to plan. There will be announcements and proper updates on Remake Part 2 as they further get into development. However, what he can say right now and talk about is that Cloud will be running around a lot of nature. The atmosphere will be quite different from Part 1, and he thinks that people will really enjoy it. The other interesting piece of info that he drops is that Part 2's story will start right after the events of Intergrade. Okay, there are many things to take away from all of that. Obviously, with the party finally leaving Midgar, we already knew that this setting will be insanely different. Instead of us being around cities, unrendered doors, and PlayStation 1 JPEG backgrounds, we will be away from all of that machinery and surrounded by wilderness, if you will. The world has yet to been stated whether or not it will be completely open, but it very well could be a zone that we can traverse around between each town. I was a bit worried, and I still am, that each chapter will advance us forward without us being able to move around, and I really hope that's not the case. In the original Final Fantasy VII, Midgar was very linear, so in Remake, rightfully so, it maintained that same level of linearity. But in the original game, once we left Midgar, we were blessed with the overworld and its large zones containing many other towns and cities aside from Midgar for us to traverse to and from. This is what I'm hoping we at least get for Remake Part 2. Which in his statement of Cloud running around a lot of nature makes me believe that is the case. Like, I'm not expecting a big open world like Final Fantasy 15, but more along the lines of Final Fantasy 14, 12, and Dragon Quest 11's large zones with joining areas which leads us to other parts of the map. Enemies are visible and not random encounters, and we can fully travel to and from each town. I know nothing is confirmed yet, but this statement from Nomura leads me to believe that we will be the ones traveling between towns, and my fears of the chapters moving around the world to advance the plot are slightly gone. Hamaguchi and Toriyama both stated months ago that they cannot wait for us to see the entire world of Final Fantasy VII Remake, so I'm hopeful that all of these guys are on the same page as me right here. Let me know what you guys think about this one. This next thing may seem like something less than what it actually is, but I want to pick you guys' brains on this one, and you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Nomura says Part 2 will begin directly after the events of Intergrade. A lot of people have been talking as if this means that Yuffie's DLC will show us something further or new at the end, which is very possible. However, I think in his headcanon, the Remake Part 1 is just called Intergrade now, nothing more, nothing less. Yuffie's DLC is called Intermission, but remember he does state Intergrade. This just means that what we already saw at the end of Remake Part 1, that's what we can expect to see going forward, and is the starting point that they are choosing to go with for Remake Part 2. Now, if they actually went ahead and added extra parts or a longer segment to the end of Remake Part 1 before the credits roll, I would absolutely love that, but I highly doubt that is the case. Yuffie's DLC very well is going to be jumping around the timeline in which events occurred in Remake, such as her timeline may be moving faster through the chapters of which Cloud and the party are going through. She might even end up crossing paths but not interacting with them many times over. Maybe we can see her getting ready to stalk the party as they leave Midgar, and she stays hidden until they get to the Mithril Caves, where we first meet her in the original game. Towards the end of the interview, Nomura seemed a little bit concerned that only 30.2% of people that watch and love these videos are currently subscribed. Guys, we are officially less than 1 month away from Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade and Yuffie's DLC Intermission blessing our presence. I will be streaming Yuffie's DLC on day 0 once it releases. That is like 11:59 p.m. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on that very soon. Being a subscriber is totally free and helps support the channel out a ton, and make sure that you guys don't miss out on any content coming at you in the future. Soon we will be giving away more PlayStation 5 to subscribers, so you don't want to miss out on any of that. Speaking of which, I know many of you guys are still without PlayStation 5s to enjoy Intergrade and Intermission, but don't worry, I'll be making plenty of guides and build coverages for Yuffie to have you guys ready to kick some ass whenever you get one. I definitely want to do more giveaways for PS5s to make sure that this community is covered one way or another. So do yourself a solid and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that. PlayStation 5 updates are coming soon. We're going to be getting ourselves a couple to give away to many of you guys. And that wraps it up for this video, guys. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is on its way, and I couldn't be more excited. We will be finishing up Resident Evil 7's Let's Play this week, finally, and looking forward to starting Resident Evil 8 at the end of this week. I hope you guys are hyped to see me scream like a bitch. In the month of June, we will be juggling lots of content. Guilty Gear Strive is coming soon in less than a month, so expect plenty of guides for that game. And join and become a member today so you guys don't miss out on personal lessons and custom lobbies where we can play a bunch of rounds together in Guilty Gear. The Guilty Gear Strive beta is coming back this week, Thursday, May 13th in the nighttime. We definitely will be making time to play that game. The beta is completely free and available to download right now, but it will be going live officially Thursday night, so expect us to squeeze some streams of that in there. If we can manage to get some lobbies easier around this time, you can expect me to try to run some games with you guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun getting back into fighting games. It's been over 1 year since I've last played one religiously, since, Final Fantasy VII Remake took over my life pretty much. So I'm excited to take you guys through an old chapter of my life, bring in many newcomers of the fighting game genre into the fold. It may seem daunting at first, but trust me, once you get clapped up 100 times, I promise you guys will eventually give me a run for my money. I'm not the greatest, but I'll do my best to make sure each and every single one of you guys are putting in that work with these godlike guides we have planned for every character. We've been almost non-stop busy with all the content coming our way trying to finish up everything, but I'm honestly excited for June because we're going to be pushing this channel even further beyond we have before. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy VII Remake videos are coming your way and you won't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ and thanks for watching.